Welcome to an exploration of Stoicism, a timeless philosophy that can lead to a life filled with wisdom, resilience, and happiness. In this video, we'll address some of the common misconceptions and, quite frankly, the dumb reasons that discourage people from embracing Stoicism. We'll tackle each of these reasons one by one, offering insights, stories, and wisdom that demonstrate why Stoicism is a path worth pursuing. So, let's begin with reason number 1. Stoicism is too hard. Once upon a time, in a bustling city, there lived a man named James who was drawn to the idea of Stoicism. He had heard that it could lead to a life of wisdom, tranquility, and happiness, but he was skeptical. Stoicism seems too hard, he thought. Why would I choose a path that's so challenging? One sunny day, James decided to seek the guidance of an old Stoic philosopher named Lucius. He shared his doubts with Lucius, who sat calmly in a serene garden, surrounded by the beauty of nature. Lucius smiled and began to tell James a tale that would change his perspective on Stoicism forever. Imagine, James, a young tree in the heart of a dense forest. This tree must push its way through the undergrowth to reach the sunlight. It faces adversity daily, from the harsh weather to the nibbling critters and towering giants around it. But despite these challenges, it persists, growing stronger with each passing year. Lucius continued, Stoicism is like that young tree, James. It thrives in the face of adversity. It teaches us to overcome life's challenges, not by avoiding them, but by confronting them with wisdom and resilience. Yes, it may be hard at times, but that's where the beauty of Stoicism lies. He went on to explain that the difficulties encountered while practicing Stoicism are like the challenges that strengthen the tree's roots. Over time, Stoicism becomes a natural part of life, just as the tree becomes an integral part of the forest. James listened attentively, beginning to understand that Stoicism's difficulty was not a valid reason to avoid it. He realized that, like the tree in the forest, the challenges he faced while practicing Stoicism could ultimately lead to growth, strength, and a life filled with wisdom. James left Lucius's garden that day with a newfound determination. He was ready to embrace the challenges of Stoicism, knowing that they were the stepping stones to a more fulfilling and meaningful life. Morale of the story. Stoicism's challenges, like the obstacles faced by a young tree in a dense forest, can lead to strength, growth, and a life enriched with wisdom. Choosing the path of Stoicism, despite its perceived difficulty, is an investment in a happier and more fulfilled existence. Reason number 2. Stoicism is for losers. In a bustling city, there lived a man named Robert who believed that Stoicism was a philosophy for the defeated. He thought, Stoicism is for losers, and I have no place in it. His skepticism led him to seek answers from a wise Stoic teacher, a woman named Sophia. Robert approached Sophia with his doubts, questioning the worth of a philosophy that, in his view, seemed to embrace failure. Sophia welcomed him and began to share a story that would change Robert's perception of Stoicism. Imagine, Robert, a grand arena where gladiators engage in fierce combat, she began. In the midst of the chaos, one gladiator stands out. He is not the strongest nor the fastest, but he possesses an unshakable inner strength, a Stoic resilience. Sophia continued, This gladiator, Robert, is not a loser. He is the epitome of a Stoic. While others may crumble under pressure or become overwhelmed by emotions, he remains calm and focused. He is a true victor, not because he always wins battles, but because he masters himself. She explained that Stoicism isn't about embracing defeat. It's about conquering oneself. It's the path to becoming the master of your thoughts, emotions, and actions. It's a philosophy for those who seek to triumph over their own weaknesses, Sophia said. Robert left that conversation with a newfound understanding of Stoicism. He realized that it wasn't a philosophy for losers, but a powerful tool for self-mastery and resilience. Morale of the story. Stoicism is not for losers. It's for those who aspire to become masters of themselves. It's a path to inner strength and resilience, where victory is defined by self-control, wisdom, and the ability to face life's challenges with grace. Reason number 3. Stoicism makes you emotionless. In a bustling city, there lived a woman named Emily who believed that Stoicism meant living a cold, emotionless life. She thought, "Why would I want to embrace a philosophy that suppresses my emotions?" Her doubts led her to seek the counsel of a wise Stoic teacher named Marcus. Emily shared her concerns with Marcus, who welcomed the opportunity to dispel the misconception. He began to share a story that would help Emily understand the true nature of Stoicism. "Imagine, Emily, a skilled musician playing a beautiful melody on a violin," Marcus began. "The musician's emotions are not absent, they are in harmony with the music. The joy, sorrow, and passion of the melody are not suppressed but expressed through skill and control." He explained that Stoicism was like playing life's melody. It did not aim to make a person emotionless, but rather to help them play their emotions with skill and wisdom. Stoicism teaches us not to be slaves to our emotions, but to be their master, using them to enrich our lives. Emily began to grasp that Stoicism was about emotional intelligence and balance. It allowed individuals to experience their emotions fully, while preventing those emotions from clouding their judgment or causing impulsive actions. She realized that Stoicism did not suppress emotions, it harnessed them. It was a philosophy that taught people to be in control, to navigate life's storms with the grace of a skilled violinist playing a beautiful melody. Moral of the story: Stoicism does not make you emotionless. It empowers you to be the master of your emotions. Just like a skilled musician plays a melody with emotion, Stoicism helps you navigate life's ups and downs with emotional intelligence and control. Reason number 4. Stoicism is selfish. In a bustling city, there lived a woman named Sarah who held the belief that Stoicism was a philosophy of selfishness. She thought, "Why follow a path that encourages self-centeredness?" Seeking clarity, Sarah decided to consult a wise Stoic philosopher known as Lydia. Sarah expressed her concerns to Lydia, who welcomed the opportunity to address this common misconception about Stoicism. Lydia began to share a story that would help Sarah understand the true nature of this philosophy. "Imagine Sarah, a gardener tending to a magnificent garden," Lydia began. "The gardener takes care of each plant, ensuring they receive the sunlight, water, and care they need to thrive. The gardener's focus is on the well-being of the garden as a whole." She explained that Stoicism was akin to tending to one's own garden of virtues, character, and inner peace. It did not promote selfishness, but encouraged individuals to cultivate their inner virtues to become better members of society. Lydia emphasized that Stoicism encouraged helping others whenever possible. The Stoics believed in the interconnectedness of humanity, and that one's well-being was intrinsically linked to the well-being of others. By becoming the best versions of themselves, Stoics could positively impact the world around them. Sarah realized that Stoicism was not a philosophy of selfishness, but a call to self-improvement and, in doing so, to be of greater service to others. She understood that by nurturing her inner virtues, she could, in turn, contribute to the well-being of the broader human garden. Moral of the story: Stoicism is not a selfish philosophy, but a call to self-improvement with the aim of helping others. Like a gardener tending to a garden, Stoics nurture their inner virtues to become better members of society, recognizing the interconnectedness of human well-being. Reason number 5. Stoicism is unrealistic. In a bustling city, there lived a man named David, who had a prevailing belief that Stoicism was an unrealistic philosophy. He thought, "How can anyone live life by accepting what they cannot control? It's just wishful thinking." Seeking a deeper understanding, David approached an old Stoic philosopher named Eli. David shared his doubts about the practicality of Stoicism with Eli. Eli, who had embraced Stoicism for most of his life, responded with a gentle smile and began to narrate a story to illustrate the realism of Stoicism. "Imagine, David, a ship sailing through a vast and unpredictable sea," Eli began. The ship's crew faces ever-changing weather, rough waters, and unforeseen challenges. They cannot control the sea, but they can control how they navigate through it. Eli went on to explain that life was much like that voyage at sea. While we couldn't control the external circumstances, we could control our response to them. Stoicism did not promote wishful thinking, but encouraged practical wisdom in the face of adversity. The Stoic philosophy was firmly rooted in the belief that by focusing on what we could control, we could make realistic, rational decisions that led to better outcomes. It was a mindset that embraced life's unpredictability and equipped individuals with the tools to navigate its challenges. David slowly began to see the realism in Stoicism. It wasn't about denying the complexities of life, but about facing them with a clear and rational mind. It was, in fact, a philosophy that could guide individuals through the unpredictable sea of existence. David left Eli's abode that day with a newfound appreciation for the practicality of Stoicism. He realized that accepting what one could not control was not a form of denial but a path to realistic, thoughtful, and rational living. Morale of the story: Stoicism is far from wishful thinking. It's a philosophy deeply rooted in practicality and realism. Like a ship navigating a turbulent sea, Stoics acknowledge life's unpredictability and focus on making rational, wise decisions within their control. Reason number 6. Stoicism is depressing. In a bustling city, there lived a woman named Sarah who believed that Stoicism was a depressing philosophy. She thought, why would anyone want to focus on the negative aspects of life and accept them? Seeking a deeper understanding, Sarah approached an old Stoic philosopher named Marcus. Sarah shared her belief with Marcus that Stoicism was a pessimistic philosophy. Marcus, a seasoned Stoic, responded with a gentle smile and began to narrate a story to dispel this common misconception. Imagine Sarah, a skilled painter creating a magnificent work of art, Marcus began. The artist uses both light and dark shades to bring depth and beauty to the painting. Without the contrast of light and dark, the painting would lack depth and vibrancy. He continued, Stoicism is much like that painting. It acknowledges the duality of life, the positive and the negative. While we focus on accepting the negative aspects we cannot change, it's not to dwell on them, but to appreciate the beauty of the positive aspects. Marcus explained that Stoicism encouraged individuals to find happiness and fulfillment in every moment, to embrace the beauty of life's ups and downs. It was about understanding that by accepting the negative, we could more fully appreciate the positive. Sarah's perspective began to shift as she realized that Stoicism was far from depressing. It was a philosophy that allowed her to find happiness, not in spite of life's difficulties, but because of them. She understood that it was the acceptance of life's dual nature that brought true contentment. Sarah left Marcus's abode that day with a new outlook on Stoicism. She saw it as a philosophy that embraced life in all its shades, leading to a happier and more fulfilling existence. Moral of the story: Stoicism is not a depressing philosophy. It's an art of finding beauty in life's dual nature. Like a painting that uses light and dark shades to create depth, Stoicism encourages us to accept the negative aspects, enabling us to appreciate the positivity and find true happiness. Reason number 7. Stoicism is for old people. In a vibrant city, there lived a young woman named Emma. Emma believed that Stoicism was a philosophy meant only for the elderly, a belief she shared with her friends. Why would young people like us bother with a philosophy for old folks? They pondered. Curious to learn more, Emma sought out an experienced Stoic philosopher named Helen. Emma shared her misconception with Helen, who was known for her wisdom and understanding of Stoicism. Helen smiled warmly and began to narrate a story to help Emma and her friends see the fallacy in their belief. Imagine Emma, a young sapling in the heart of a meadow, Helen began. This sapling stands resilient and flexible, adapting to the changing seasons and growing stronger with time. It does not wait to be old to stand tall. Helen continued, Stoicism, like that young sapling, is not limited by age. It is a philosophy for all, especially the young who are just starting their journey in life. By embracing Stoic principles early on, young people can build a strong foundation for wisdom, resilience, and happiness. She went on to explain that Stoicism was not about waiting until old age to embrace its teachings, but about utilizing them to lead a meaningful life, to make sound decisions, and to develop the skills to face life's challenges. Emma realized that her belief that Stoicism was solely for older individuals was a misconception. She understood that Stoicism offered valuable tools for young people, helping them navigate life's twists and turns with grace and wisdom. After her conversation with Helen, Emma eagerly shared her newfound perspective with her friends, and they too began to see Stoicism as a philosophy for the young and old alike. Moral of the story: Stoicism is not reserved for old age. It is a philosophy that can be especially beneficial for young people, offering them the tools to build a foundation of wisdom, resilience, and happiness as they embark on life's journey. Stoicism is a timeless philosophy that knows no age limits. Reason number 8. Stoicism is boring. In a bustling town nestled by the sea, there lived a young woman named Lily. She often overheard her friends dismissing Stoicism as dull and tedious. "Stoicism sounds boring," they would say. Lily, curious to discover the truth behind these claims, decided to seek the guidance of an experienced Stoic philosopher, a wise man named Theodore. Lily shared her friend's opinions with Theodore, who had dedicated his life to the study of Stoicism. He smiled kindly and began to narrate a tale that would show Lily that Stoicism was anything but boring. "Imagine, Lily, a vast ocean teeming with life, both on the surface and in its hidden depths," Theodore began. "To the untrained eye, the sea may appear monotonous, a vast expanse of sameness. But to those who take the time to explore its depths, the ocean reveals its vibrant and diverse ecosystem." He went on to say, "Stoicism is like the ocean, Lily. On the surface it may seem simple, but when you delve into its depths, you discover a philosophy that is rich, deep, and complex. It offers a profound understanding of life, human nature, and the pursuit of happiness." Theodore explained that the perceived boredom stemmed from a misunderstanding of Stoicism's depth. To truly appreciate its wisdom, one must be willing to explore its core concepts, read the works of Stoic philosophers, and apply its principles to daily life. Lily realized that her friend's perception of Stoicism was misguided. It was not a philosophy that lacked depth or excitement, but rather a profound exploration of life's intricacies. She left Theodore's study with a newfound curiosity and determination to explore the depths of Stoicism. Lily's transformation from perceiving Stoicism as boring to a philosophy filled with depth and wisdom was shared with her friends. In time, they too began to appreciate the vibrant world that Stoicism had to offer. Morale of the story: Stoicism is far from boring. It is a philosophy of depth and complexity, just as the ocean's true beauty is revealed when we explore its depths. The richness of Stoicism becomes apparent when we dive into its core principles. Stoicism offers a lifelong journey of learning, self-discovery, and wisdom. Reason number 9. Stoicism is not relevant today. In a bustling metropolis, there lived a young woman named Emma, who held the belief that Stoicism was an outdated philosophy, no longer relevant in the fast-paced, ever-changing world of today. She considered it a relic of the past, unable to address the modern challenges of life. To challenge her perspective, she sought the counsel of a seasoned Stoic philosopher named Leon. Emma expressed her doubts to Leon, who had dedicated his life to the study and practice of Stoicism. With a warm smile, he began to narrate a story that would show Emma the enduring relevance of Stoicism. Imagine, Emma, a grand old lighthouse standing tall on the rugged cliffs of a tumultuous sea. For generations, it has guided sailors safely through treacherous waters. The lighthouse has seen countless storms, but its purpose remains unchanged: to offer guidance in times of uncertainty. Stoicism is like that lighthouse, Emma, Leon continued. While the world around us changes rapidly, the core principles of Stoicism remain steadfast. Its wisdom is a beacon that guides us through the tumultuous seas of modern life. The challenges we face today, from the pressures of work to the chaos of the digital age, can be navigated with the timeless teachings of Stoicism. Leon explained that Stoicism's relevance lies in its adaptability. The Stoic principles of focusing on what can be controlled, accepting what cannot, and cultivating inner strength are as applicable in the 21st century as they were in ancient times. They provide solace in the face of uncertainty and chaos. Emma's perception began to shift as she understood that Stoicism was not a relic of the past, but a philosophy that could help individuals cope with the unique challenges of the modern world. Inspired by Leon's wisdom, she embarked on a journey of discovery, determined to embrace the timeless relevance of Stoicism. Over time, Emma found that Stoicism offered her guidance in navigating the complexities of her career, relationships, and the ever-changing world. She realized that this ancient philosophy was not only relevant, but invaluable in helping her lead a purposeful and resilient life. Moral of the story: Stoicism, like a steadfast lighthouse, remains relevant in the ever-changing seas of modern life. Its timeless principles provide guidance and wisdom to navigate the challenges and uncertainties of the 21st century, making it an invaluable philosophy for those seeking resilience and purpose. Reason number 10. I'm just not good at it. In a quiet corner of a bustling city, there lived a woman named Sarah who had a heartfelt desire to embrace Stoicism. She admired its principles and the strength it could bring to one's life. However, Sarah doubted her own abilities. She often thought, I'm just not good at it. Stoicism is for those who possess unwavering self-control and wisdom. One day, as she sat in a park pondering her doubts, a wise friend named Alex joined her. Sarah confided in Alex, expressing her feelings of inadequacy when it came to practicing Stoicism. She believed it was beyond her reach. Alex, who had embraced Stoicism and witnessed its transformative power, decided to share a story to dispel Sarah's doubts. Picture a vast garden, Sarah, Alex began. In this garden, there are flowers of all kinds, each at a different stage of growth. Some have blossomed beautifully, while others are still budding, and a few have yet to break through the soil. Stoicism is like this garden, Alex continued. It's not about where you start or whether you're naturally good at it. It's about nurturing the seeds of Stoic wisdom within you, just as a gardener tends to the growth of flowers. It's a journey of progress, not perfection. Alex explained that Stoicism does not require immediate mastery. It encourages gradual development, much like the blossoming of flowers. Everyone begins at their own unique starting point, and through practice, patience, and self-reflection, they can cultivate Stoic virtues over time. Sarah began to understand that being good at Stoicism was not about being flawless, but about a commitment to personal growth. With Alex's guidance, she embarked on her Stoic journey, realizing that it was within her capacity to embrace this philosophy. In time, Sarah saw the positive changes in her life. She became more resilient, calm in the face of adversity, and wise in her decision-making. She recognized that her initial doubts about her abilities had been misplaced, and she found comfort in the knowledge that Stoicism was a philosophy for those willing to learn and grow. Moral of the story: Stoicism is not about innate talent or immediate expertise. It's a path of personal growth, much like tending to a garden. Everyone, regardless of their starting point, can embrace Stoicism, nurturing wisdom and resilience over time, and reaping the benefits of a happier and more fulfilling life. Conclusion: in this comprehensive exploration, we've dismantled the 10 misconceptions that may deter individuals from embracing Stoicism. Each of these dumb reasons has been carefully unraveled through tales, wisdom, and insights, revealing the profound depth and significance of this ancient philosophy. We began our journey with the misguided belief that Stoicism is too hard. Yet the story of James and the resilient tree in the dense forest taught us that challenges are the very stepping stones to growth and wisdom. Stoicism may present difficulties, but they are a small price to pay for the treasure trove of fulfillment it offers. Next, we tackled the misconception that Stoicism is for losers. The stories of Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca reminded us that this philosophy has been practiced by some of history's most successful individuals. Stoicism is a philosophy that cultivates strength and wisdom. Moving on, we discovered that the claim, Stoicism makes you emotionless, is far from the truth. Stoicism does not suppress emotions. Instead, it empowers us to manage our emotions in a healthy and constructive way. The misconception that Stoicism is selfish was dispelled as we learned that Stoicism encourages a focus on our well-being while also advocating for the betterment of others. We then faced the myth that Stoicism is unrealistic. On the contrary, Stoicism's emphasis on controlling what we can and accepting what we cannot aligns perfectly with the realities of life. Stoicism is depressing is another fallacy, as Stoicism inspires a positive perspective, urging us to embrace life's duality with open arms. The notion that Stoicism is for old people was debunked, as we recognized that Stoicism is for individuals of all ages, offering its profound wisdom to anyone who seeks it. We dispelled the idea that Stoicism is boring by acknowledging the richness and complexity that this philosophy offers. A journey of perpetual learning, Stoicism is anything but dull. We addressed the claim that Stoicism is not relevant today, arguing that it is more pertinent than ever in our rapidly changing world, providing us with the tools to navigate the unpredictable currents of life. Lastly, we dismissed the belief that I'm just not good at it. The truth is, Stoicism is not a matter of innate talent, but a path of practice, growth, and continuous improvement. In conclusion, Stoicism is a profound and transformative philosophy that leads to wisdom, resilience, and happiness. It offers a way of life that transcends the misconceptions and myths that surround it. The choice to embrace Stoicism is a choice to live a more meaningful, fulfilled existence, free from the limitations of these 10 dumb reasons. The path is yours to choose.